If you live in an apartment, don't buy a Tesla. I can only go off of what I would do if I were in that scenario, but if I lived in an apartment, or that's the only property I had was an apartment complex where I had to go to a supercharger to supercharge, or I could only have access to 110 outlets, unless your apartment complex is suave like that and has a infrastructure for, 220 charging, the level 2 charging, I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do it. And I'm just going off of what I would say. If you want to go to superchargers and wait, really, it only takes about 20 minutes to get to 80%, so you could live that life. I really only charge this car like once a week, maybe twice a week sometimes, depends on how much we're driving. I've hit superchargers. Hold on, let me find out. We could probably check. Show you right here. It only shows I get free supercharging because of the referrals, but that I think would have been like a $20, $30 charge and took me about, I don't know, 15, 20 minutes. I can't check, but I've only supercharged in this car a handful of times. Single digits for sure, probably seven or eight times. In this car, my girl's Model Y Performance has never hit a supercharger. Never hit a supercharger. And whenever I hit a supercharger, I've never been there for longer than 25, 30 minutes. If we're traveling, we've been there for as long as it takes to go in, hit the restroom, wash your hands, grab a drink, walk back, and go. What I don't understand, why people flame the supercharging. Yo, hey, it's Matt from the future here. Yeah, the reason why they... Got a little bit of a wrestling match going on here. Maybe I need this so you can hear it over the dogs. The reason why supercharging gets such a bad rep is because I think people are just ignorant because it's somewhat of a newer technology. Like, everyone knows how a gas station works. All right, well, most men know how gas stations work. It's a joke. It's just new. It's just new. It's new stuff. You know what I mean? So, like, they don't know what they don't know. That's what it comes down to. But if you're going to do it on a daily basis, like if you drive that much, you might want to reconsider it. I have the Plaid. I hope you can't hear my dogs barking. But I have the Plaid, and I mean, realistically, it's a 400-mile car, a 300-mile car, maybe 250 if you're really freaking out going nuts. But it gets it. It sure gets it. Damage from the last video. Check that out if you want to see what happened, if you haven't seen it. If you need an exhaust note, if you need to shift, if you need that internal combustion engine experience, bear with me here, because I'm not going to say don't buy it. I'm not going to say don't get a Tesla, because you really need to try it out. And maybe it's because I have the Plaid. I didn't start with like a Model 3 on this sort of ownership. My girl has a Model Y Performance, which effectively is about as quick as my Z06, C7 Z06 was. Definitely about the same as the Huracan. Other cars too. It's faster than a lot of supercars, quicker than a lot of supercars. The Model Y is not necessarily faster. The Plaid is both. It is quick and fast, especially once you get the CCB, the brake pack, the track pack. You're cranking over 200 quickly too. The software tuning toward the top end of that is a little bit different, I believe. Don't hold me to that, but correct me if I'm wrong. But this thing is extremely fun. It is exceptionally fun. Dude, it's just wicked. It's almost like a supercharger whine, just without the engine, without the exhaust note, without the shifting, when you hear this thing getting on it. I mean, it really doesn't show up through the phone, through camera, through video, through audio. It's something you kind of got to experience in person inside the car. It's wild. Now, does it replace an exhaust note? No. It's a different flavor. You have to understand that. You really, really have to be okay with that and understand that. You've got to comprehend the fact, no, I'm not buying a car with a V10 or a V8 or some crazy exhaust. I'm buying an electric car, and I thought I was going to hate this when I got my first Plaid. This is the third one. I love it. I love it. I'm obsessed with it. It's one of the best dailies that exist right now, I would say. I don't think there is a better daily. You could put it up against the Taycan, the Turbo S, the Taycan Turbo S, any of those cars, say you need an SUV, you got the Model X Plaid. I personally don't like the Model X Plaid, don't like how it looks, but you don't have much to complain about with the Model X Plaid. It's just not my style. It's not really my style. You know, you've got a lot of stuff going on with the Model S that is very coupe-like, very executive sedan-like, and it's just got all these different flavors put together. I swear I didn't think I was gonna like it as much as I did. Black brakes, black calipers, black paint, black trim. I thought I was gonna get bored of that pretty quick, but the stealth out look looks good. We added some carbon to it. Probably gonna take that carbon off soon. This is, this might be a seal, like the bead maker I put on it, or some kind of sealant, but it's starting to get hazy. You can almost scratch it off. So that's really just the resin, but those are probably gonna come off. We're gonna go back to black, and I'll keep the gray wrap on for now until we decide to do something with that, figure out what we're gonna do. Really, the fog light just needs to be popped back in, and we're good to go there. The tint, I got 15% all the way around. I just love the car, dude. It's a game changer once you start to play with the colorways, and it really makes it feel more special, which this will lead to my next point. If you're someone that needs to customize your car and it's like deeper than just superficial stuff like a wrap or carbon fiber or whatever, you know, other interior stuff, but if like you need bolt-ons and stuff like that, then yeah, maybe this isn't the car for you. So these are things you have to consider when you're considering jumping ship and you're a prospective Tesla owner. Mostly all I mean by that is I understand and I value the fact that some people, they want to craft and tinker and DIY and build stuff. And I fully get that. I do that too. You gotta keep in mind that the Plaid is given to you turnkey race car plus daily driver capable on both ends. It is not a track car. If you want a track car, this probably isn't the one for you. Just being honest, you know, it's on bags, it's heavy. It's not a bad track car, but it's not a Porsche. You know, you're not going to have that go-kart feel going around corners and whatnot. So keep that in mind. Now that the Plaid is, like the MSRP on this was $149. And because of the economy, not because of the quality of the vehicles or anything, but because of the economy, Tesla has dropped prices. Now with interest rates potentially through the Fed, since they're going to be going back up, or I mean back down, I'm sorry, pretty soon, we're probably going to be looking at an MSRP increase pretty soon. Don't hold me to that, I'm not certain, but I would imagine that's what's going to happen. So if you're going to get one of these, you can always refinance the rate. Now might be the time to do it. Get it while the MSRP is stupid low. Get a used one for like 75 grand. I might even trade this thing in soon, and I really want the updated taillights and that 16 gig computer inside. I just want to see the difference. I'm interested, very, very interested, and I just think it's a good time to do it, especially with what happened with the front end. I might fix that up, and maybe we'll swap into a 2024 Plaid. I still got a ton of meat on the bone for the warranty as far as the, as far as the battery life goes and drivetrain, all that stuff. We're about to crack 30K miles. Car's been great. This isn't a review video. This is just like a buyer beware video if you're considering it. I'm just trying to help more people that are, I just want you to know what you're getting into, and more people that are coming into this have a better experience, or maybe just avoid it altogether, but I wouldn't say avoid it at all. I would definitely give it a shot. At the very least, if you know somebody with a Plaid, or go test drive something. The Model 3 is not going to give you the feel that the Model S does, but the Model 3, for the price of the Model 3 Performance, it's a shorter wheelbase, so it feels and handles a little bit more like a Porsche, whereas this kind of handles similar to almost like a McLaren, the 700 series, or else a Rolls Royce, just because I know they're two totally different cars, but McLaren has a beautiful mag ride where if you're going down bumpy roads, it just eats it up. If you're going on a track, it stiffens up. And it knows how you're driving. You can switch it into the dynamic modes and whatnot. So that's one thing. But man, I just think you should give it a shot. And the Model 3 Performance is so close to this. It's just once you get over 100, you start to notice the differences. This, you have a lot of other features that are neutered in the Model 3. And personally, I think this just looks sick. It looks wicked, dude. Like, look at that. Look at that. Just look at it. It looks great. It's a beautiful car. And if you get the right things done to it, I'm not going to beat that because I already talked about it for too long in this video. But it's sweet, man. It's a solid move. Consider this too. Say your only car is going to be the next car. Say you're trading something in or you want to minimize. This is a great choice. The Plaid is a great choice because you have a daily driver during the week. Sometimes I'll choose this over other performance cars as well. It's bonkers. It's ridiculous how good it is. I don't think I can make a 10-minute video just saying it's so good, it's so good, it's so good, but I think I just did. I'm also giving you a heads up of like where this application doesn't fit into your life. I was able to set up charging ports at all my residences and we're able to knock this out quickly. And again, I charge like once a week. I'm not going to go into that again. What I will get into, I'm not going to beat this like a dead horse, the interior. It's a little dirty right now, so don't mind it. But if you are interested in modifying your interior, this might not be a car for you. This is not stock. This is like a suede seat back. And then you have these back there. They fold forward. You got a ton of space. I'll pop the front and the rear open for you to check it out before we end this video. But you got all these compartments. Pretty sweet. So if you want to customize your interior, I don't even know how many are out there, but there's so many options for you to do this. Not as much for the Model S and X as there are for the 3 and the Y. So that's something else to consider. If you really want to modify the car, you might want to go for a Model 3, but just keep in mind you're neutering so many other things. You're factoring so many other things. So I'm splitting hairs here. I'm not just giving you like general information. I'm kind of giving you a deep dive into very specific things. Some things that some of you are gonna hate me for even making this video because of it, and others you're maybe be kind of thankful. And we'll show you the compartments and stuff after. But the yoke, I have absolutely loved the yoke. There's nothing better in this car than the experience of the yoke. I like it so much. I haven't had any issues. To pop the frunk, you press that. To pop the trunk, you press that. And what I could compare the yoke to is almost like what you feel you see when you're driving a supercar. That feeling, that excitement, that theater, it's given to the driver inside. It's given to the driver inside of the car, and it's more for you. It's more introverted rather than extroverted experience. That is the frunk. Side profile, not sure why you would ever need that, but that's that. I'll take you over to the back. And I don't know what I had back here, so buyer beware. Okay, no, we're good. You got a little compartment there. This stuff, it's smart. This is where it does feel a little, I don't want to say chintzy, but like you would never have that in a Porsche. But again, I respect the modularity. And this needs to be, wow, that really needs to be vacuumed out. This is how you see how much I actually use the car. Pretty fucking sweet. I like that a lot. And then this is magnetic and this folds over if you want that tray down. Reasons why I love this car, because of stuff like that. The simplicity, the over-engineeredness is really nice. This can pop back up. I have to have my girl vacuum this out, or I will. You see how stiff some of this stuff is? Some of the newer Model S Plaids, I feel, even with the price drop, I don't want to accuse anyone of this, but I think very strongly that I think Tesla has reduced some quality on the newer Plaids. I'm not 100% certain, because you have improved brakes, you have improved taillights, you have some improved computer system stuff. So I don't know why they would chintz out on that unless they can, you know, if you produce 50,000 cars and you save $100 on them, like, kind of makes sense a little bit, but who knows. I'll end you off with this. Close this. I just bring that down, locks in there. I don't use the sides or anything. I think that's a good way to bend that. Oh, I need to wash this thing. It's such a shame what happened to the front end. But yeah, I'll end the video on this. Like I said, this is a for you car, not a for other people car. It's discreet from the outside. Nobody bothers you. You don't even have to go to gas stations. If you do, no one's gonna bother you. If I'm in any of my other cars, it's just a dude magnet, and I don't want that. I don't care. First of all, I like that. First of all, I'm engaged. I'm not single. I don't really care if it's gonna attract girls. But more importantly, it doesn't. The supercars don't. This, you get way more compliments from women on the Teslas. They just think they're so much cooler than other cars. And that's probably going to be an unpopular opinion, but I'm just going off of what I've seen. You know, I live on the East Coast, Northeast Coast, not near a city, but 30 minutes away from some major cities. And women typically like these cars way more than the Ferraris, Lamborghinis, whatever. Like, they see that and yeah, dude, I'm telling you, you're going for the wrong girl if she's dating you for your car. I just want to throw that out there and make a video on this and kind of show you a little synopsis, a little presentation on the Model S Plaid, whether it's maybe a good fit, maybe a bad fit for you. Just being honest, unbiased. I'm not saying go get one, it's the best car ever. For me, kind of is. For you, that's for you to decide, my friend. And with that, I'm gonna leave you off with that. This car is a for you car. It is not a for other people car. It's not to flash, it's not to flex. It's discreet, especially when you wrap it in a neutral color like this. It gets not a lot of attention from the police. So, yeah. We're gonna be giving a car away at 100K subscribers. It is not a Tesla. It's gonna be a $1,500 to $5,000 price point vehicle. We're gonna select it once we get closer to like 90K subs, unless it's approaching quicker, then there will be ample time, and we'll figure out how we're gonna do the giveaway. It's gonna be like a random, either a random subscriber generator, if I can do that, or a random comment selector, or if there's any other way we'll have to do it, we'll figure it out. But I digress. Let me know what you think. What do you think? Do you agree with anything I said? Do you disagree? I think it was pretty level-headed. I've thought about this. I didn't really script this, but just kind of going off the top of my head, these are thoughts that have crossed my mind quite a bit. And after they backload into the Rolodex, those pieces of data I just feel are useful and would be useful for me if I were deciding to buy. Would it have changed my thought process? Knowing what I know now, it probably would have made me want it sooner or more, or it would have been okay paying more, paying a premium when people were selling these for like 180 grand, even before the brake kit came out. Wild. Gonna try and upload this today. It's Sunday, December something, 17th. Have a good one. Let me know what you think. Make sure you're subscribed. Sometimes YouTube unsubscribes us who are subscribed to channels. It does it to me all the time too. I kind of hate it. Just make sure one thing. Don't die.